Absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't.
That is a wonderful question. And I think it's a really important one.
I usually tell people that I'm a secular Buddhist. It depends. Sometimes I really want to piss people off and make them think I eat babies, and then I just say I'm an atheist.
So, as someone who, the groundwork of my program is based in the 12 steps, if you're looking at it from even just, they talk a lot about spiritual principles. I talk a lot about spiritual principles in my recovery. If I am living out and allowing those spiritual principles to move through me, things like compassion, open-mindedness, willingness, brotherly love, sisterly love, all the things, right? Then that should afford me to give you all the room you need to find exactly what you're looking for in recovery.
So Zoom, one of the great things about Zoom when it started, first off, it took me a little while to get accustomed to it because I thought, how dare COVID do this to me? I had a great service position at my church. I have the key to the church, all of that stuff, It's what I did Friday night, Saturday mornings, now the Zoom thing. And I see Zoom boxes and I think perverted people. And I did not want to take that, but it was my sponsor that called and said, how are you serving the primary purpose, which is, helping the next alcoholic or addict, if you're sitting around with your head shoved up your butt complaining about something you have no control over?
First came around recovery rooms, it can be just very religious. They'll say like, this is not a God. You don't have to have, you can just have a higher power. And they just relanguaged it. We're still talking about the Christian God. People say things like, anything can be your higher power. Your higher power can be that light bulb. But, but then when you're working the steps, it asks you to turn your will and your life over to the care of a light bulb as you understand it. Doesn't make nearly as much sense.
Specifically with atheism in the 12-step rooms, whether it's any of the A's, there's absolutely literature on it. It's not a prerequisite for you to have to believe in God or some sort of higher power whatsoever.
And I went, oh. So jumped on Zoom and, spent a lot of time at different meetings all over the place. But then about 6 months ago, I was in a really wretched mood. My sponsor said to me, I don't know what's going on with you, but you've lost your smile. You need to go find your smile. And I said, yeah, I was going to tell him a few choice things. He said, why don't you try one of those no God meetings? I said, what? Oh, and I went, it's like it clicked for me. So I've been in secular AA for the past 6 months, which is atheists, agnostics, and free thinkers. And it is a whole fellowship that is huge of atheists, agnostics, and free thinkers. And it is possible to get sober without God. I mean, you don't need God to get sober. You need to not drink.
And I was afraid that if I couldn't get this sort of religious idea, then I wasn't going to be able to stay sober, because that's what I was told. If you don't get a higher power, you're not going to make it. And if you don't make it, you're not going to live,
If you're going through the 12 steps, sometimes that higher power or that thing is just living a good life, is just practicing principles that make you a better human.
I went to so many religious services. I played piano for the prison choir 5 nights a week, which was just as romantic as it sounds. Finally, I realized that maybe I just don't have that capacity. Maybe I'm okay. And I've been fortunate. I've been sober a long time. So now when I go into a meeting, I say, look, I've been sober for a very long time, and I'm just to quote Albert Einstein, I'm a deeply religious non-believer. Nobody can really argue with me about that. Now, and I'll even offer to, I'll say, hey, if you guys want to go debate this, I'd be happy to. I love a good debate. Let's meet on the parking lot. And nobody has ever taken me up on that debate, unfortunately.
I'll find what I'm looking for when I go in with an open mind and a willingness to just explore and be curious about what resonates for me and what doesn't. Some things that I come across are gonna hit me at my core, and I'm gonna go, yes, that's something I want to continue to carry with me in my recovery.
I don't believe in a deity, a God, or anything like that. I'm 4 years. So I got to be doing something, right? So yes, it is possible to be an atheist, agnostic, believer, non-believer.
Even the terminology like spiritual awakening, for instance, maybe that doesn't resonate, but maybe becoming a better person does, and going through a psychic personality change, If
I want to get sober, I'm going to get sober. I think anybody who's got the willpower, the willingness to do the work, they're going to be able to do the work.
There's also other programs that are not religious whatsoever, like secular organizations for sobriety, SOS, Smart Recovery. There's tons of them. There's Buddhist recovery groups.
Whatever it is, it's just this process of change that takes me from what I used to be like and the things I used to do, my attitudes, outlooks, and behaviors, to a new place where it's healthier, it's clearer, it's operating from a place of wisdom and love for the rest of the world. Personally, I don't think it matters how you get there. It's the process of being willing to walk that path to move in that direction.
You can go have great meetings with people. You can work steps. You don't have to believe anything. The steps truly are suggested. You can pray as an atheist if you need to. Whatever. It's really your choice in how that all plays out. You don't have to have a huge religious conversion to be able to stay sober. It's just not necessary.
And great things come from doing the work. So yeah. So.